Hi everyone, hope you've had a great New Year and Christmas. I know I have. It's been really good and I've not had much time to read books. So I'm going to hopefully make some, well I was going to say resolutions, but I don't need a new year to start making resolutions. I can do them whenever, but I'm going to plan to read a lot more and finish up what I've been doing. So I'm currently reading To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and hopefully I can get that done and dusted and move on to some new books. But the purpose of this video is to go through the books that I got for Christmas and over the sort of holiday period. So I've got quite a few, and if you want more details of them, I'll put them up on my Goodreads page. But I'll talk you through them and we can have a discussion on these. So the first one is, and these are in no particular order, but I've got Fred Truman, the biography by Chris Waters, and here is a picture of it. Okay, and the blurb as well. So if you're after that particular edition, if you're a fan of cricket, then you can certainly pick this one up. Wisdom Book of the Year 2012, Leo McKinstry of the Mail on Sunday suggests that it's one of the finest sports books of recent years. Times Literary Supplement, an unusually searching and entertaining cricket biography. Fred Truman was a cricketing legend and the first man to take 300 Test wickets. Beloved of spectators who packed grounds to witness his belligerent way of playing the game and nothing but trouble to the cricket authorities, Fiery Fred was the epitome of a full-blooded Englishman. But as Chris Waters reveals, behind the charismatic exterior lay a far less self-assured man, terrified even that his new dog would not like him. This life of Fred Truman will surprise and even shock, but also confirm the status of a true English folk hero. And it was also the MCC and Cricket Society Book of the Year 2012. So for those of you out there that are into your cricket, I'll hopefully have a review to be processed, and you can hear all about it. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. I'm a big fan of Fred. And we've got a fictional book now. Robert A. Heinlein, so he's a big dog in the sci-fi world, one of the true greats sci-fi writers, and it's The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, and it's that particular edition. Sorry about the reverse thing. I'm going to try and get a better camera to improve the quality of these videos. So it's the SF Masterworks version. I know in my wish list I've got Starship Troopers. I really want to read that. I think the film's great, but I really want to read the book. But a close friend of mine bought me this, and the magazine of fantasy and science fiction suggests that it's the best book Robert A. Heinlein ever wrote, which is high praise. On Luna, an open penal colony of the 21st century, a revolution is being plotted. The conspirators are a strange assortment, an engaging jack of all trades, his luscious blonde girlfriend, and a lonely talking computer. Their aim, the overthrow of the hated authority. But things don't go according to plan, and their independence may ultimately prove harder to maintain than it was to seize. So, very nice book. That's the rear. Again, if you aren't clear on the covers and things like that, the particular editions that I've got, then you can look at my Goodreads page, and they'll all be on there. I've already uploaded them, so that's added them to the shelves, so you can go and get them in more detail. But yeah, I'm thoroughly looking forward to reading this as well, so that'll be great. Next we've got a non-fiction book, and it's Not in Your Lifetime, The Assassination of JFK by Anthony Summers. As you'll know from my other videos, I'm a big fan of the JFK assassination. I can't read enough about it really. I think there's so much left unstated and unseen. It's a book that must be read according to the New York Review of Books, and a fine achievement according to the Sunday Times. By far the most convincing book, enthralling by the Observer. Races along like a John le Carré novel, Norman Mailer. It might not be in your lifetime, said the Chief Justice of the United States when asked whether all testimony on the President's assassination would be made public. There may be some things, he added, that would involve security. 50 years on, material is still withheld. Why, if the President was killed by a lone gunman? Drawing on 30 years of investigation, Anthony Summers analyses the evidence for Oswald's guilt, the mafia connection and the links to Cuba. He reports for the first time on a plausible admission of involvement. This updated edition of Not in Your Lifetime is the defining account of the most intractable mystery of our time. So this is going to be a thrilling book to read through. I'm very passionate about this area, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. So that'll be fantastic. Next one, we've got some post-apocalyptic fiction, one of my favourite genres, be it video game genres, film, books, music, all that sort of stuff. I'm hugely passionate about this area. It's The Road by Cormac McCarthy. This particular cover with Vigo on the front. It's a major film, and I have seen the film. Very depressing and dark, but great nonetheless. Winner of the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction from the author of No Country for Old Men. The first great masterpiece of the globally warmed generation, here is an American classic which, at a stroke, makes McCarthy a contender for the Nobel Prize for Literature, Andrew O'Hagan suggests. A father and his young son walk alone through burned America, heading slowly for the coast. Nothing moves in the ravaged landscape save the ash on the wind. They have nothing but a pistol to defend themselves against the men who stalk the road, the clothes they're wearing, a cart of scavenged food, and each other. So I'm thoroughly looking forward to reading this because the film was engaging and just thrilling, really. Very, very dark, very, sad, I guess. I know the ending was very sad. So I'm thoroughly looking forward to reading this book and sort of seeing, because often, people will say the book is better than the film, and I would agree with that 99% of the time. So I'm really looking forward to this. So this will be great. Next one is Clive Barker. Now, I've not really read or had much to do with Clive Barker's work. I've only heard of things, and I've not seen the films. I think it's the Hellraiser films, I believe. And I've heard of Jericho, which might have been a computer game. But I've not read any of the books, so this is like new territory for me. The international bestseller, There's a Great and Secret Show. Stephen King says, Clive Barker is so good that I'm literally tongue-tied. And this is the version. Nice, colourful cover. Armageddon begins quietly. In the small Californian town of Palomo Grove, several children are born, the offspring of the Jaff, a man-spirit obsessed with darkness and depravity, and of the Fletcher, a force for light, who has fought the Jaff across America. So it sounds like a good versus evil battle. Their prize is the art, the greatest power known to mankind, a doorway to the dream life of the species. To possess it, the two men intend to fight through their children, until their children fall in love, then all hell breaks loose. This time they'll fight to the death, gathering their armies from the souls of Palomo Grove. Nightmares will walk the streets, dreams will be made real, at last the Grove will see the great and secret show. One of the few writers who has altered an entire field more than anyone since Lovecraft. China Meeville says, I think I've got that right. But this sounds very interesting and perplexing, so it's going to be great to delve into. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. Now, I've already got this book, but my copy is about 15 years old and it's beat up and it's seen better days. So it's George Orwell, Animal Farm, the Everyman's Library edition. So it's a nice little slimline version of the book. And this book, its reputation goes before it. It's a legendary book of the 20th century, really. Some of the praise: Animal Farm remains our great satire on the darker face of modern history by Malcolm Bradbury. Ruth Rendell from the Daily Telegraph, the book for everyone and every man, its brightness undimmed after 50 years. Julian Simons, the book its writer called A Little Squib, is the finest prose satire in English after Gulliver's Travels. So that's just an example of some of the praise that's been heaped on this book, but everyone's heard of Animal Farm. Anyone's heard of Animal Farm. It's a legendary text, really, on the abuse of power, and I'm really looking forward to reading it again because I've just finished 1984 and I thought it's just masterful writing. So this is going to be a treat. And lastly, Christmas wouldn't be complete without some comedy. And it's usual that every year I get Jeremy Clarkson's book. So this is the one. It's What Could Possibly Go Wrong. And I usually get one of these as a gift every year. as a bit of laughter. I do find him quite amusing with his columns and his articles that he writes. I certainly had a laugh at the Top Gear Christmas special that just went on. Daily Telegraph suggests brilliant laugh out loud, and Time Out outrageously funny will have you in stitches. So that's some light-hearted subject matter as opposed to the more in-depth, gritty, content-heavy stuff that I do read. So that's my book treasure chest from Christmas. I'm sure you all got plenty of books of your own, and I hope you strive ahead in 2012 and set yourself plenty of goals in literature-based goals. And I'm going to try and certainly plough through this huge unread pile. So again, if you want more info on my progress, do check out my Goodreads profile. If you've got any advice on the order I should go through these books, because I'm just going to attack them in any old way. So if you've got recommendations which one I should go through first, then that would be greatly appreciated. But I wish you all the best for the new year. Hope you enjoy things. Hope you've had a great break, and look forward to attacking 2015. Thanks for listening again. Look forward to seeing you again soon.